Welcome back. It's Workshop Wednesday. We are here. It's hump day, middle of the week, but we are here to pump you up, to hold you accountable. It's a new year and it's a new you, right, Jana?
That is absolutely right. We are so thrilled. This year has already been amazing. All of the new opportunities that we are having. My goodness, Lori, and we're only a few days into it. I just can't wait to see what this year brings.
I know it has been amazing. And really, what it is, we had a theme, like 3 or 4 years ago at HSRA, New Year, New You. We did a mastermind, we did some branding tips, we did some headshots. It was so fun. It was in Las Vegas. But now I feel like New You has a whole new meaning after the last couple of years. And I love to see all of the hard work, all of the sacrifice, all of the investment. I feel like for those that are in with members of HSRA or within our sphere of influence, it seems to me that all of a sudden just opportunity is flourishing everywhere. People are collaborating and they're growing and their businesses are flourishing. And that's so exciting. Plus, it's the beginning of the year. So, we want to know in the comments if you're on with us right now. Are you ready for a fantastic 2022? What's your big goal? What is your big, hairy, audacious goal for 2022? How are you getting there? Well, here's a little tip for you. You need to be part of the Home Staging and Redesign Alliance because we're going to keep you accountable. We exist to build businesses and leaders. Are you a leader? Yes, you are. Do you have a business? Most likely. So you need to be a part of HSRA, and we are here to see you grow. So today we're going to talk about goals, and nobody keeps a goal, meets a goal, or digs up a goal like you, Janice. So let's talk through how you perfect the goal setting. I think one of the very first things I ever learned being part of HSRA is about SMART goals. And honestly, I never, ever heard about a SMART goal or even what SMART stands for when it comes to SMART goals before I worked at HSRA. So let's talk through goal setting.
Goal setting. I heard it this morning, and we've talked about our BHAGs, our big, hairy, audacious goals, as you mentioned. This morning, I heard on Clubhouse that it's the big, hairy, scary goal, right? Those things that we're like, oh my gosh, that is way too crazy. If that, what would happen if it's like, oh my gosh, I can't even think that big. And really going into goal setting of reaching for the stars, what if and why not? Like if we were to ask ourselves, what if this happened? Why couldn't this happen? Like, why not? Why should it not happen? I mean, there are things that I believe we put into motion, Lori, whenever we do goal set. When we talk to people who have had rough years, they have had, and I say years, right? Like the last few years have been rough, and it's prolonged agony, prolonged stress. People just get worn down. And especially in our industry, when it comes to staging, design, real estate, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly. I've talked to people that have barely had any staging jobs in Q4 going into this year, while others are just thriving. And then they're saying, gosh, what's wrong with me? Why am I not thriving? They first have the blame game going on, and whether it is something that they could have attributed to or it was out of their control. For the most part, you just have people that are in the weirdest predicaments right now, and it's not necessarily related to everything that we have contributed to 100%. So how do we get a new fresh breath? How do we get a new focus? And it is from our goal setting. I think everyone that it's within them of endings and new beginnings, and so what do we want to put an end on? What do we want to kind of put it in either the trunk of the car, and if we put it there and we carry it on, it's going to weigh you down, or we can put it in the engine and let it fuel us into greater opportunities and those lessons learned. So having the challenges and the obstacles is great when it can fuel us forward. And then we say, here's where I was. Here's what happened. Here are the challenges. Now, why can't I dream bigger, more? And then putting those into that SMART format of specific, measurable, attainable, realistic or relevant. Some people say relevant and time bound. And then you can work with that. We break it down. We know we've done this in our strategy meetings. And we talked to one girl today that's part of HSRA. She's so busy, she hasn't been able to sit down and do strategy. And that can be a good thing and a bad thing. So it's all about taking moments to take a breath, refocus, and then get things on paper and let that be your anchor. Let it be your compass. Let it be the direction, the roadmap to where you want to go. And so we've got to take moments to do it. Otherwise, we're drifting.
Yeah. I love what John Maxwell does that week between Christmas and New Year's. He goes and he reviews his whole calendar for the last year. And he says, what has been a good thing that we've done and we need to keep doing? And then what do we need to get rid of? And so something that I thought of when you were sharing, Janet, is like, I've never experienced somebody who is as optimistic as you are when certain goals might not reach their targets. I definitely learned that just because you make a goal doesn't mean that that goal has to happen, or maybe it looks different. So if it don't get it right the first time. And so I know we're at the beginning of the year, but let's be honest, how many of you in November are still hitting your goals, right? You get, tied up with all the busyness, or especially for our staging community, November is like, oh my gosh, I got to get some jobs in. I got to, prepare for the holidays. So how do you pivot or adjust when maybe there's a goal that you set that you're not on target to meet? So what are some of the things that you do? Because you're so good at this, like resetting, like looking at it, thinking, okay, maybe it wasn't this X, but maybe it was Y, and then you kind of readjust yourself.
Yes, and that happens, with flights all the time where we know the destination, but maybe we have to go around a storm. Maybe there's some situation that's making us go off course. And first we have to say, well, do we need an emergency landing? Do we need to redirect because things that we thought this would be the best destination, but really this is better, or there's a situation that's thrown us off and we're going to make the best of it. So I think course correcting is very important when it comes to goals, because we don't want to always get in a situation where we're disappointed all the time, things aren't working out, and we say, okay, well, let's readjust where we need to, or let's go ahead and have a pit stop and figure out, hey, this is a really good location or destination as well. Lori, we don't know it all going into a new year. We don't know what that new year brings. We've just gotten 2 calls in the last 2 days from HGTV shows, and we didn't plan that. That wasn't on our calendar. But when we see something that we go, you know what, this may be even a better opportunity, a new opportunity. Do we need to say yes? Does it support our overlying mission? And, Jennifer talked about this on our earlier Clubhouse. We make a difference one property at a time. That is our Model My Home staging company. And when we design, stage properties, set up STRs, we want to make a difference. So if the HGTV opportunities allow us to make a difference in more people, maybe not just one house at a time, but multiple families at a time, and we can deposit something that stays with them, give that hope and encouragement, then that aligns with our goals. That aligns with our mission. And so you've got to always, when things happen that redirect you, that you didn't plan for, ask yourself, does this still align with our initiatives and our big purpose? And if it doesn't, you may need to say no to it. If it is sometimes we don't even know something is better lurking out there until we're introduced to it. And it can be better than us achieving the goals that we couldn't even ask or dream of. It was more than we could ask or think. So you just have to assess, address, and progress. How many times do we say that, right? Assess the situation. You want to address anything like any issues, any challenges, and deal with it. And then you want to progress to the right the right outcomes going forward, decisions that are going to come towards those right, get you closer to your initiatives.
That is so good. Such great information to take away. And I was just thinking while you were saying about, you didn't, Model My Home didn't expect 2 phone calls from HGTV, but what they have done in the past, they built that relationship. HGTV knows when they need someone, they know who they can call. And Model My Home has been trained and built up in such a way that they can take on those things. But in that same token, those big, hairy, scary goals that you have that you want to set forth for the year, they may not happen this year, but you always have to be working forward for when they do come. Because just like the phone call came from HGTV, those goals that you're working to, they could come at any moment. And are you prepared? Are you ready to those things that you wish for? Are you in a position to take them on and to run with them? And I know HSRA has some really big things happening that we have been working really hard on for the last couple of years. And now they're here. And that causes us to think, yes, we have trained, we have built relationships, we have prepared, we have set the foundation, we are ready to run. But the next step is we need people to run with us, right? And so in thinking about goal setting and keeping those goals in front of you, how do you stay encouraged throughout the year? Because I know that whatever we talked about in strategy, I can guarantee in May, in October, and in December, Jana, those are going to be top of mind. You're going to be revisiting them. You're going to be talking about them. You're going to be asking me and the team, what's the updates? Where are we at? Where are we standing? So how do you keep from losing sight of those goals when you're running a staging company, when you're super busy, when everything's going wrong? Maybe all your employees quit on one day, or maybe, you have to add 10 employees because you've grown outside of, your warehouse. So how do you keep those in front of you all the time?
Yeah, you absolutely revisit them. And so revisiting them daily. I love what Grant says. He literally writes his goals down twice a day. And so whether that's a little bit of personal and professional goals, it's the same principle. You keep them in front of you consistently. So your whole team, this is not just the business owner, but these are goals for the entire team. So we talk about our PPF goals, our personal, professional, financial goals that our individual team members go through. And so it's up to them. If it's going to be, it's up to me, right? So they keep those goals. They first have that opportunity to sit down, work on themselves, ask those tough questions, write it so it's real, and then they keep it in front of them. Then you're going to reassess it, and you're reassessing it daily. Is this decision moving me closer to my goals or further away? What do I say yes to? What do I say no to? And then as team and that accountability, we're asking those questions, the tough questions. What are we doing today to get closer to our goals? If we want to hit these numbers, if we want to hit this amount of money, what are we doing now? The activities, the daily checklists that support that are moving it. They're not just the normal stuff that we did yesterday, because the stuff we did yesterday didn't hit our goals yet. So we got to think differently. So, Lori, we are assembling the troops, we're assembling the assets. We are assembling people and products and clients and collaboration so that we can together reach those goals that we could have never done by ourselves. So those weekly reminders, those monthly reminders, continuing to have strategy, not just once a year, but at least twice or quarterly, having those mini sessions that you are continuing to keep those in front of you and keeping each other accountable. It's the more people that know about the goals, the more opportunity you have for people to pour in, keep you accountable. So you have to keep each other accountable, have those tough conversations. Hey guys, what are we doing to move the needle closer to our goals than our normal activity? Because normal won't get us in those big goals. We have to do things differently, learn new skills. And so learning is a huge part of this. What are we going to do? Who do we need to become? What company do we need to become to reach those goals?
That's so good. And those who follow us know one of our most quotable things from you, Janice, is if it's not written, it's not real. write it down every single day, twice a day if possible, and watch it happen. You're literally speaking it into existence. You're visualizing it by writing it, and speak it out loud that these are your goals. This is what you are going to do today. And watch how those things change and those things happen. And then, yes, absolutely get around people that are going to hold you accountable. Even if it's uncomfortable, you need to align with those people. Nobody can be successful on their own, because they need a customer to be successful too. They need a team to help grow their success. And so you need to be around other people. So I think that's really important going in to 2022. And I think one of the more important things about goal setting is educating yourself on your goals. And so investing in education, investing in business support, investing in collaborations with others. And so, I know that at HSRA, we have been so pivotal in helping home staging companies break into the short-term rental styling, right? And so investing that time and energy and learning, if you want to hit a number goal in your business, you really need to do the math, right? I know that at Model My Home, they did the math on what was the most profitable product that they had. And that's going to tell you how you're going to get to your goal sooner. And so for those that don't know, we do have an upcoming event coming up at our HSRA training center in Dallas, Texas, for short-term rentals. We're going to actually take a tour of some short-term rentals that are currently operating. They're on the market. We're reserving that day so that nobody can book it, so that you can see it. And then we're going to spend a whole day in the training center talking through this thing. And so if that's one of your goals for 2022, we've got you. Just go to hsraresources.com. They'll put the information in the link here. But Jenna, you have grown so exponentially by the education that you have invested in for us at HSRA, the coaching and training, Grant Cardone licensee, John Maxwell, leadership training, our own modules, over 150 different modules that we get trained on all the time. Right. So talk to me about the investment of training and educating yourself to meet your goals.
Well, I'm a big believer, just because I've also experienced it, that when we come into everything with a learner's mindset, then we are open to the possibilities of being stretched and grown. And we don't come in thinking, oh, I know it all. This worked 5 years ago, so it's going to work again. No, we have to continuously train and continuously have that learner's mentality to reach these goals. There's too many things that's moving so quickly. Technology, we've got metaverse coming up. We've got all of the, Bitcoin and all of these things. And we think about the virtual, how does that impact real estate, and how does that impact what we do in providing those services? So I can never think that I've arrived or I don't need to learn anything else. We have to be on this journey. So I've been already in a real estate mastermind today with people, over 200 investors doing huge things like buying up multifamily, multiple, tens of thousands of doors. It's crazy to see what people are doing, but it is collaboration, and they are there to learn, and they're knowledge seekers, right? They're knowledge seekers. So be a knowledge seeker, and don't try to just shoot holes in everything. Try to say, what do I not know? What am I missing? What new skills, like I said, and then who do I want to be in the rooms with that are where I want to grow to? So we forced ourselves in 2021 to be in the rooms, be uncomfortable, and ask the elementary questions. Be vulnerable, and be able to make some mistakes so that we can learn and share and grow from those as well. So I think having a learner mindset, not a judger mindset, no prejudging, just be open to being a better version of you, and really a new version as we continue to progress into these incredible opportunities for the year to come.
Absolutely. In the 5 years I've been here, we have seen the most success going outside and putting ourselves in those rooms that you were just talking about. We elevated so much faster with the connections and talking to people. We were just on Clubhouse before this. I just saw a message pop up on my phone that somebody would love to collaborate with us. It's just putting yourself out there, asking the question, you know. So I think that that is so pivotal in meeting your 2022 goals. And let me tell everyone, you can meet your goals, but you won't meet your goals if you're not willing to get uncomfortable. If goals were easy, everybody would meet them, right? But you can just get a little uncomfortable and go out there and seek it. And don't stop asking the questions until you find the answer that makes sense to you, that makes you truly understand, and being able to take some information and deploy it to your team. You need to really, truly understand and surround yourself with people at HSRA. Our community is so amazing. We call our community a family because that's what it is. We're there to help you grow, literally exist to build businesses and leaders. And so if you have any questions about, you know, being in a community that helps meet your goals, helps build your business, please reach out to us, myhsra.com. We would love to talk to you. We'd love to. One thing that I love on discovery calls is asking people 2 questions. 1, where have you been? How'd you get here? 2, where are you going to go in 5 years? And when I hear that, it's like, you know, they don't think they could obtain those goals in 5 years. Well, I'd really love this. And I'm always like, that's so fantastic. We got everything you need. Like, you're going to do this. And I just start listing off all the things because we've surrounded ourselves with such a community of different level businesses. We've educated ourselves. So we've partnered with people outside of the home staging industry into the bigger umbrella of the real estate industry. There is endless information out there. You just got to put yourself in the right place. So awesome. Any last minute encouragement before we wrap up this 2022 goal setting session today?
Yeah, I would say just continue to do one thing different every single day that gets you closer to your goals. Like, have some adventure, have some fun, continue to grow, and you can't have. I mean, life is about having fun. It's about those new experiences. It's about, you know, being able to work where we're called to work with each other. And so make sure that you are aligned properly with people that have that same mindset. And you will not regret it. You will not. If this is something new to you and if it's a little scary, that's okay. Be with people that are doing big things, and all of a sudden it will rub off on you, no doubt about it. But be a contributor. You know, where are you going to contribute? Where are you going to be a go-giver this year? If you go into new relationships with a heart to help and a heart to give, then that's what people want. They can work with that. They will now be willing to give and collaborate with you as well. So where are you going to go give this year? That should be on your goals as well, and go into every single opportunity. Where can I contribute instead of just taking? Like, I'm going to deposit, and then we've got some fair exchange going on. So I love it. I can't wait to hear everyone's goals, and let's keep each other accountable. Get an accountability partner and make that real. Make it relevant in your life so you can stick to those SMART goals with those time bound, right? We've got deadlines to get some of these actions done. So take action now, like Lo shared. Take action now. Quit talking about it and do it.
Awesome. And just right before we wrap, I just was reminded of one goal that I have seen happen in a very quick amount of time. Is about 1 year ago today, you and I sat in a high rise on the beach of Miami, and we sat on the patio up past my bedtime, by the way, and we dreamed together. Big, audacious dreams, right? And one of those was you were sharing about how you love to be in a high rise, you love to see the buildings and the commerce and all of that. And it's actually been less than 1 year. And look where you are now. You're in the high rise. You have all of the buildings around you. You're seeing those things. That's taking some time, getting away, planning those things, and continuing to focus on them. And that goal was met very quickly. So that's a little encouragement to end today. We will see you back here next week. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. We're here to help you, and we will see you next week.
See you guys.